Dolly asked a question earlier, and I think Julia answered that before you put the trial start, you have to get the neighborhood's support, right? You have to obtain that support.
Well, and why don't we poll ourselves here, like I asked Mark, what does that mean? Because what Mark said, that means about 50%.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Linda? Is that when you said that doing the outreach for these parks that we're picking, what is the process of doing the outreach that you envision? I'm not holding it to you, but...
we sit down and work with our citizens group, and if you want us to go with the proposal of having a smaller group self-selected by the others, we can do that, and then we work out a strategy for that. It's going to have to be face-to-face conversation, possible community meetings in the immediate area, lots of notification using the block leader network. But I think the only way that I would be satisfied is if I have a pretty good face-to-face information, legitimate information that this is the number of people who are supporting. I think that we've heard a number of people lay out ways to do that tonight, and I think we can build on those.
Well, what's in your mind? What's a reasonable hurdle? I mean, you're not going to get 100% of the people. You're not going to get
100%. No, I'd like to get over 50.
Okay.
No, but I think that's something the council can set.
I agree.
That's what we're talking about.
Just asking me a question.
So I understand that. So I would be fair. All right. I would suggest that we do either half miles or 1/3 mile, quarter mile, radius in every single neighborhood around that park, like Linda Vista Park, and to see how many support you get from there.
Well, I think so. Here's my view of that.
That's a fair.
Here's my view. There are two different constituencies. There's the park users that may, you saw the one map there where they lived all over the place. They were kind of grouped as you'd expect them to be in a neighborhood park. So I think you need a method for surveying park users. Because
all other park users going to say, yes, go over there. And they all come to that park and says, yes, they're here. So Linda Vista, everybody go to Linda Vista, be the users, and then says, yes, because that's not their backyard. And then it won't be fair, right? Because they're the ones that suffer with the noise and with the traffic and all that.
Let me finish. There's two things. So the park users, you want a view of them because they're, no matter where they live, so they're not...
Oh, they can randomly pop in. I mean, they can come from Florida and come to be the user.
Exactly, but the park user is not going to be worried about noise in general. I mean, they're going to be worried about other things. They're going to be worried about
it won't be fair.
Then there's the neighbors, the immediate neighbors, and I don't think that's like a half mile away. If somebody's a half mile away and they don't use the park,
well, they can give an opinion on it.
I particularly don't want to hear their opinion. If they're a half mile away and they don't use the park, what value is their opinion?
How did you determine they are regular park users? I think that would be my question. You tell me.
You survey people in the park.
How did you?
I think Chris has a valid point with that one, and the point is really the question is a traffic question. If you think you're going to generate traffic, then how far away do you look?
Well, yeah, but
I think you should look more than certainly just the people touching the park. I think you should go a reasonable distance away, but I also think you need to do the people who use it.
Right.
Because what you're saying.
So I agree those are the two most important people, but I think a little further away than just.
And that's fine. I don't see that being a big traffic thing.
If the idea is to extend this park area in every single city park, then you should not go with users because that's impact every single park neighborhood. And traffic issue will be gone if eventually every single park, city park, has the dog area. Then why you care about traffic? Traffic is not going to be there. Noise is the one that's going to stay there.
No, I agree. That's why the neighbors need to be.
That's right. That's why the neighbors
have
need
a high.
You're arguing against yourself, Chris.
But not a half a mile away.
Well, maybe
anyway,
you look at the sphere of influence of each park.
Getting out of it.
I think I understand your point about wanting to talk to the actual users of the park. Now, are you
And
talking
the
organized
both.
users or?
No, random sample, like some people have done. We could structure that
But it's
better.
hard to.
But you gotta, are you saying we don't care about the users?
I do care about that. I'm just saying it's really hard to determine whether this is a regular park user or a one-time park user only. And you run it, or, well,
Just ask
you
them. How often do you come to the park?
who's going to do the
Once-
survey? Who's going to do the
Once a
survey?
week?
Let's not create the survey. So, well, do we feel comfortable, because we got to send them off with some criteria.
Criteria. I think it's immediately neighbor is important, right? Quarter mile or 1/3 mile, it's important because they're the direct impact. And then most likely they are the park users. I mean, they go there jogging, they go walking, they are the park users.
Okay, I also, so we definitely want the neighbors, right? I don't know if is quarter mile reasonable? That's
From the park and not the area. It's from the.
Well, from a
point
cell
of
phone
park.
tower, I think we made it 1,000 feet, so that should be at least
1,000 is not
comfortable.
far enough because usually the park,
half. You want a half a mile?
Parking.
How far do you said a quarter
I
mile?
think
mile.
quarter would be fine.
Well, quarter mile's
1/3.
about 1,000.
It's a little over, but yeah,
Oh,
1,200.
then that's not good.
We're
That's what you
Then it'll
said.
be a half mile. Then it'll
No,
be
I
a
think,
half
all
mile.
right, well,
1,000 feet from the boundary of a park, and that way you're not counting the parking lot.
Right.
It's the same thing we do for any other
But
major
that's only
development.
10 houses the most because each house is pretty
But
much in the
deep,
back.
10 houses deep.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
it's pretty deep.
It's deep.
You don't hear anything, you don't see anything, you don't smell anything. 10 houses
But then
away.
the reason I said it go farther is because you cover more park users. People live
That's
in
why Oren
half
wants,
mile far.
that's why Oren brought up the idea
No,
of
that's
actually
what I'm-
surveying people who use the park.
No,
Because then you
that's
get
what-
the people who live
no,
out
that's what
farther
I'm
than
saying.
1,000
If you
feet.
go farther, you already cover the park user by doing that.
But you
that.
cover a lot of other.
Maybe, let me make a suggestion. If we're gonna
No,
take
your turn.
action on this before we all melt into our chairs
Yep, we have one more item.
incoherently, then let me ask us to take an action on this and ask staff to bring us back some criteria to help guide us. Because writing criteria at 1:50 in the morning is not us at our best.
But I wanted a general feel. I think
Well,
I
I'm
think
not
we
sure
gotta
you're
get-
gonna- I'm not sure you're
Did you
gonna
get
get
enough
a
of
general feel.
to come up with something? Thank you. All right, then let's have a motion.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Can I take a shot?
Yep.
So we're not going to do, wait. So we're not going to do anything until we receive staff's recommendation of the
Right.
criteria. And then we're going to go from there. The neighborhood support has to be scanned before this even
Yeah,
trial.
we're
even
gonna,
start.
we can have it come back. The group will go out and create some criteria. We can stamp it or discuss it and change it, and then they'll use that criteria to go do the work and then come back with the results.
Wait a minute. So we're not going to decide. We're not going to even review it. They were just going
Yes,
to go ahead.
I think
and
it depends on the
You just
motion
said
that Mark is about to make.
Let's listen to the motion first.
Okay.
Then add it in.
So yeah,
Yeah, no, we'll see the criteria.
we will
Okay.
see that.
All right, so I motion that, let's see, that we approve the, whatever it's called, the list, outcome A.
The rules list.
Yeah, so
Proposed
A,
rules.
adopt the rules, A.
Okay?
That we also adopt B,
Okay?
even though, and in addition to B, that an alternate site be looked for because there's a $6 parking fee at the county park, and it's a bit of a drive. So I agree with Gilbert that we continue to look for an alternate fenced dog site out of the box, as it were. That we have the staff initiate a neighborhood survey for the following 4 areas: Jollyman, Linda Vista, Memorial Park, and Library Field. And that search, they can adapt the parameters, but our recommended parameters initially are that 50% of the people that they survey agree, that they survey 1,000 feet away from the park in all directions, and 30 days of park users. Also, that we require blue tags for both dogs and people to use the unfenced areas. That we have that staff look into also increasing the sheriffs or code enforcement to patrol the areas, and that they put together